Today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we talk about the differences between closed back and open back headphones. If you are an audio enthusiast or a casual music fan or anything in between and you are shopping for a pair of headphones, you will often see a designation on pretty much universally all of them, and they are either generally called closed back or open back. But what does that even mean? Now, if you are new to the whole headphone world and want to listen in a serious manner, often a lot of folks are kind of afraid to ask what that even means, or they just Google it, I suppose. But I thought we would talk about the differences between closed back and open back and kind of hopefully help you guys decide what you think is best for you. So first, we are going to talk about what is probably the most common version of a headphone design, and especially at the consumer grade level, and that is the closed back design. Now, this is a pair of Sennheiser HD 300s, and I kind of use them for a real world test when I am doing a mix, but they are also very good for music listening. And as the name implies, a closed back design, you will see the back of the headphone is closed. It is not vented. You cannot see the rear part of the driver, i.e. the speaker that is on the inside that you put your ears against. This is a sealed off part of the headphone. Now, what are some advantages of a closed back design? Well, first, a closed back design is most ideal for things like DJ work, because all of us DJ on the weekends, right? Vocal tracking in a studio setting, typically because these are so isolating, these are good for tracking vocals or podcasts and things like that, because the sealed closed back design allows for a minimal bleed of whatever is coming through the headphones themselves. So you don't want to get your backing track in the microphone itself. So a closed back design is very good for this purpose, but most commonly, these are best for travel, being on the bus, being on a plane, being on a car. When you are around people, they won't be able to hear what you are listening to unless you're a crazy person and you just like to crank that music, because, sometimes. Now, in some headphones, a closed back design will make the sound generally more bass responsive and bass accentuated, and it will also get kind of boxy in comparison to an open back design, which we will talk about in a second. And this can be a positive or a negative depending on your listening environment. This is why, generally speaking, you don't see a lot of people mixing professional quality audio on closed back design headphones. Now, coming from the closed back design headphone, we are going to move to an open back design. This is a pair of HD 58X from Drop and Sennheiser, and you will notice immediately that visually they're very different from the HD 300s. They have this nice grille, and basically it serves two purposes. It's to physically protect the back of the driver, and it's also because it's to look just awesome, but mostly to protect. Now, as the name implies, the open back headphone is open backed, meaning on the other side of this protective grille is the rear side of the driver that you are listening to when you put these on and listen to something. There is no cut off domed protective thing. It's open back. You can really reach in there with like a pick and poke the speaker if you'd want. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could. Now, there are several huge advantages to the open back design, namely the greater soundstage. And when I say soundstage, that is the perceived space in which you are listening to music. So, for example, the drum track will actually sound like you are standing in front of the drums, and the guitars will sound like they're behind you. Or if you're listening to an orchestral piece on an open back design, it will seem wider and much bigger than in comparison to listening to the same piece of music on a closed back design. That's pretty cool. Now, sonically speaking, you will get a little bit of reduction in the low end, and it won't be so hyped, but you will get crystal clear mid-range and very nice top end with the open back design. But with those positives come a few negatives. Mainly, there is no isolation from what you were hearing to the outside world. So these would not be ideal for like a bus trip or something like that. People can hear exactly what you are hearing, just a little quieter when you are listening to open back headphones. So that's something to keep in mind if you are looking for a pair to travel with. Definitely go for the closed back specifically for travel because, you know, some of these things you guys listen to, grandma should not hear. And lastly, as far as pricing goes, generally, the closed back will be a little less expensive than the open back, but again, I am generalizing. The HD 300s that I have here in my left hand are about, I think they're like $150, and the Drop HD 58X Jubilee from Sennheiser and Drop are about $160. So really, the price is kind of negligible. For sound quality, open back. For utilitarian travel and just getting the job done, where listening quality is not an absolute premium, definitely go closed back. But I hope this video is able to kind of educate you guys and help you guys make a decision on what kind of headphones you possibly may be looking for in the future or down the road. All applicable links down below in the description. You've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.